Hi, welcome to Clarity 16.1.2 Feature Supportability Training. My name is Santosh Panchali and I'm a product manager of Clarity. In this session, we will cover new totals row that can be configured in Common Grid. So, what's new? In this release, we are providing a new option to configure a total row that can display aggregated values on supported type of attributes in a Common Grid. And why is this important? Until this release, there was no configuration in the Common Grid to see the aggregated values of records across pages for applicable attributes, except in group by mode, where aggregated values are displayed for the resulting groups. Some customers have adopted this as a workaround to use group by on an attribute that will result in just a single group to see the overall totals. Now, going into the details, a new setting show total row is now available in view options for common grids. When you toggle it on, it would display an additional total row that is pinned at the top of the grid below the header rows. By default, any number type attributes like money, number, etc., including that of TSVs, are aggregated to display the summation of the values. Configuring aggregation, including what type of aggregation to use for each supported data types, or even turning off aggregation on an attribute, can be done from the value aggregation menu available from the column headers hamburger menu. When using aggregation type other than sum, the column label will be suffixed indicating the same. All these configurations can be saved to the view. This table shows the different types of aggregation supported for different types of attributes. We'll see more of these during the demonstration. When updating a value in the grid that impacts total values, a banner is displayed above the grid indicating so, and a refresh button to refresh the grid with updated total values. Also, exporting the data to CSV would export the totals data when totals row is configured in the view and the general setting for export is set to default. Alright, let's see a demonstration of what we have covered so far. I am logged into Clarity as Patrick, who is an investment and a portfolio manager, and I am on the projects grid. Here, in the View Options panel, we can now see an option called Show Total Row. Let's go ahead and toggle it on. As we can see, a new row has been added at the top of the grid that shows the total sum for number type fields like here for ETC, which is a number field, and here for planned cost, which is a money type field, and even this field incidents, which is a custom number field. Note that these are the aggregated values for all the records in the grid across all the pages. This row is pinned at the top like the column header rows, which means even if I scroll down the grid, it is still displayed and I can always see it. Now, let's go ahead and add a per period metric. Let's say we add this field budget cost. As we can see, the budgets are aggregated for each period like this. In case we need to see the aggregation as something other than sum, we can do so by navigating to the value aggregation menu here from the column header menu. As we can see, for a number type of attribute, these are the available aggregation methods. Say I choose average for this field. When we do that, the average of the ETC for all the records in the grid is displayed. Also, notice that the column header indicates the new aggregation method that is used. We can even choose to not have a field aggregated by choosing the none option from here. In addition, there are also other type of fields that support aggregation like dates, strings, etc. For example, let's check the start date field. As we can see, it supports maximum and minimum in addition to none. Let's choose minimum of the start date here. And on a string field like project name, we can see the total as a count of records. Let's see what happens when you edit a value in the grid that impacts total values. Let's say I edit this value here. When I did that, notice how there is an alert at the top indicating that the change impacted the total values and alerting me to refresh the grid. When I click on the refresh button, we can see that the total value is also updated now. Lastly, let us see how export to CSV works with the total row enabled. I'll go ahead and export this data to CSV. And when I open the CSV file, you can see that the total row is also exported. For this to happen, make sure that the CSV export format in user settings is set to default. This concludes the session on configurable total row in common grids. Thank you.